So-called pop stoicism has been around for really quite a few decades now, almost, and it is one of the most important reinforcing ideologies of the global regime. It tells you, to wit, that you are to function. You are to function well in the uncanny wheelwork of globalized technocracy. Do not complain, keep calm, and carry on. Suffering is to be accepted by you on your own, and of course, not really as a fundamental part of the conditio humana, of the human condition. No, but really as something that is to do with how you feel today, with your moods, which then you are supposed to regulate. With 7 habits, YouTube is full of sort of videos that tell people what to do and how to behave, what habits to get into, what sort of rituals to uh, pursue in the morning so that you are more attractive at the workplace, so that you get through the day, or you don't get moody, etc. None of this is to do with Stoicism. What it is a sort of a perversion of it. What it does, the ancient arts of living require us, of the human being, a full transformation. They ask us to commit to the order of the cosmos, to the logos, to the idea of the good, to ratio, and to see how we are, as ethical beings, part of nature also, and of course that there is a larger, grander whole which is good and where there is truth. But here, what this has been replaced with is exactly that uncanny wheelwork, the machine, if you like, that steers the planet, or that this planet has become. And so what so-called pop stoicism does, and this is why I said in the beginning that it is one of the most important regime ideologies, the ism is the tell, is that it tells you to be nothing but a good functioning particle, and to regulate your mood with perhaps an app. And so, have you been mindful today? Have you spent at least 2 or 3 minutes being grateful for something? Have you perhaps gotten into some sort of spiritual exercise that will make sure that you accept suffering as sort of not really part of the fundamental human condition, but as part of something that can be rephrased or then turned into something that becomes fuel for how you function at the workplace again the next day. This is not a life that bases itself in otium cum dignitate, in leisure with dignity, of which Cicero, for example, speaks. This is not that at all. It is instead something that turns everything on its head. It's a complete subversion of this ancient way of living, and what philosophy really demands of you. It demands of you to be transformed. If anything, what the Stoicism, etc., what this movement should do, if there is any sort of or any philosophical movement that addresses the art of living, is that we would almost have to revolt against the machine and make it end, not make it, not give us coping mechanisms, but in a sense help tearing it down and help sort of find us, guide us towards ways of living differently, that we are genuinely free from these demands of the market, etc., or that we can at least, at the very least, playfully engage with it, ennoble ourselves in this way, and become true sovereign aristocrats, if you want to use these sort of Nietzschean terms. But what we are being sold with pop stoicism is, of course, the ultimate slave morality. And that is by itself should tell you, I mean, Epictetus is very often used, one of the best examples, one of the leading thinkers, as it were, of Stoicism. And yes, he started out as a slave. And so what he tells you is that basically nothing matters. Be entirely detached. Don't even worry about your child dying, or your mother dying, or your wife dying. But it turns out human beings, we are attached. We are, in fact, attached to other human beings and to ourselves. And there's more to life than just inner freedom. There is more to life than just feeling free on the inside while you're enslaved on the outside. I mean, think about it, how perverse this really is. You use the writings from an actual slave from the Roman era, Epictetus, and you turn this into an ideology you sell to people, millions of them, to tell them to just retain their inner peace and freedom while their lives are utterly meaningless. So what they're doing is, the pop Stoics, they give you these toolkits, reduce thought, reduce the genuine Stoic cosmology to a toolkit that you can apply when you feel anger boiling up. But you know what Aristotle says? Of course, Aristotle not a Stoic. Aristotle does say that anger very often, in fact, is the right response, is the response of the mean, the golden mean, that is the response that is not just justified, but is in fact the measured response. Not just to take it and swallow it and get on with it. No, you're supposed to be angry sometimes. It's perfectly appropriate to be angry. Has any pop Stoic ever told you that? Probably not. But you see, very often that is the right response. And it's just an incredible phenomenon to witness this, and how long it's been going now. So again, we live in a time of what we might refer to as an uncanny wheelwork, globalized technocracy. And in it, human beings are for the most part reduced to being functioning cogs. And now you have, for those who are looking for something, those who are searching for answers that go beyond just the mundane of the everyday, what they find is how to function well so that you can retain inner peace at the workplace you hate. Be a slave. It's actually just how to be a slave. That's what they're selling you. How to be a good wage and debt slave. Quite remarkable, has got nothing to do with what Cicero refers to as the ars vitae, the art of living, in which we first of all have to find our own terminology to live again. Or if we look at Nietzsche, who says that we have to live dangerously and be experimental, be free spirits in that regard. That is to say, yes, free in spirit, but of course also free on the outside, freed from such hideous demands that are often placed on us by the uncanny wheelwork of burgeoning and growing technocracy. Which, again, if you'd like to be a slave, that's fine. Stay with pop Stoicism and do your 7 habits of anger and mood management so you never feel sad or you never feel attached to anyone. No, human beings are attached. We're very attached. And that is what makes us human to a large extent, that we actually care for others and that we think about it, how insane these teachings are, and that we are attached even to things of nature, inorganic things, like even a stone could speak to us in a sense, or could mean something to us, could be significant for us. Animals, of course, very significant for the human being. And so preaching detachment is not the way to go. It actually leads to enslavement. So would you rather be a slave or would you rather be free? Well, maybe it's time to reclaim the art of living, philosophy as the art of living. And so I'd like to invite you to follow the link in the description of this video and learn more about the true art of living. Thank you very much indeed.